Hey Leo, welcome to your weekly forecast for November 29th through December 5th, or whenever you happen to fall upon this video, you're going to find it when you're meant to. Keep in mind that these are general readings. Not every single message is going to resonate. Take what does and leave the rest. We're going to connect here and see what is coming up for Leo, Sun, Moon, and... Nope. Yeah. Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What's going on for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising? What is happening here for our darling Leo collective? Guys, I did a card of the week last week in the shorts. I don't know how that works. Let me know if you were able to see it. If it's helpful for enough people, I might keep doing the reading of the week, the weekly forecast, but then I might do like a card of the day for each of the zodiac signs. Let me know if you guys think that might be helpful. I'm considering trying to make that happen. All right, the first card here is the Page of Swords. Page of Swords can indicate that some of you might be dealing with a younger air sign person. Air sign people are going to be Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. You may have an air sign placement that's, kind of coming up and taking the wheel here in the week ahead. However, okay, for me in my readings, a lot of the times I see Page of Swords coming up when you're in a situation where you need to speak up. Like you keep finding yourself being placed in situations where maybe you don't want to speak up, you want to let things go, but you're being pushed. You're being pushed to speak up. So some of you Leos might be experiencing unblocking or clearing in the throat chakra. And sometimes when the throat chakra is unblocking, you may even have physical symptoms like sinus pressure and sore throat, right? I've seen that happen, and I've experienced that myself in the past. When the throat chakra is unblocking, there could be kind of like nasally things going on for some of you. With the Page of Swords also, Page of Swords comes up a lot of the times when there might be someone who is attempting to gather information. So sometimes when I see the Page of Swords, it's kind of like proceed with caution. Be cautious what you're putting on social media, what you're making available on social media. I feel for some of you, you might have someone that's trying to make a problem for you at work because you might be posting certain things on your social media about your politics, about your beliefs. You might see a meme that you think is funny and you're kind of posting it because you just it made you laugh, but there might be some kind of a political undertone, maybe even an overtone to it. So I feel like somebody might be making issues or making problems, which I don't know. That's a whole nother can of worms. That's a whole nother controversy. I don't really think it's fair that stuff gets pulled into the work environment. I mean, me personally, I feel like what you believe, you have a right to believe, whatever that is, and what you're doing on your page in your free time is your business. But I feel somehow somebody is like taking that to your work situation and making an issue or making a problem, that Leo posted this or Leo posted that, or Leo thinks this or Leo thinks that. So I feel like those of you who are in a situation where you can't afford to walk away from your job right now, or you can't afford to get in trouble, or you can't afford to get let go, be cautious what you're posting on social media, because not everybody on there is your friend. And I've said this in past readings. A lot of times it comes up in love situations, but I don't feel like this is a romantic situation. I feel like this is more somebody who sees you as competition and they're looking for a chance to get ahead. But I've said this in past readings. The Page of Swords can come up for me in my readings when you have someone on your social, and I've seen it happen so many times. You have somebody on your social media where it looks like a really legit profile. You maybe have never met the person in person, but they look like they have friends that know them. They seem like a real person. It doesn't seem catfishy at all. and they're talking to you and they're in your DMs, and you might feel like, oh, this is a cool friend, but you haven't met them in person and you feel comfortable with them. Meanwhile, it's somebody that you know using a fake profile, and they're using it to gather information. You might not be the only person they're doing it to. I'm sorry to say there are some people that have nothing better to do than to do this kind of thing, play this kind of game. So the Page of Swords for me says be careful what you're posting and be careful what you're sharing with people in your DMs. Because I know sometimes it's really comforting to talk to somebody who's kind of a little bit of a stranger, because you think, well, they don't know the people in my life and they don't know who I'm talking about, so it's kind of like I'm getting to vent anonymously. Meanwhile, the person that you think you're venting to anonymously is somebody you actually know. So be careful of anybody that's trying to get you to talk about work situations or your boss or anything like that, because there could be someone who's trying to gather information to create some kind of drama in a work environment. That's like a heads up I'm getting for Leo. The next card coming up here for you guys is the Seven of Cups. And the Seven of Cups can be a time when you're having to consider your options and you're feeling overwhelmed. You're not sure what to do, right? A lot of you might be feeling like you're ready for a change in your life. A lot of people have been feeling that way right now because the whole world is changing. We're in unprecedented times, facing things that we've never had to face before. And so you might be thinking about what you're wanting to do with your life and what you're wanting to focus on. And you might be feeling a little bit overwhelmed. The positive aspect of Seven of Cups is kind of like the sky's the limit. And to me, I see there's a shift happening. A lot of the times with the Seven of Cups, you were stuck in the past because you thought there weren't any options. You thought there wasn't anything that you could do, and your hands were tied and you felt stuck. Seven of Cups comes up when you're breaking out of the limited thinking and you're like, oh my gosh, there are so many options. There's actually a lot of doors here that are available to me, but now I feel stuck because I don't know which one to go for. Before you were stuck because it was like there's no possibility. Now you're stuck because you're like, I don't know which one to pick. And a lot of the times, Leo, that's going to come up from what I've seen in the readings. It comes up because you have this belief from your childhood that you developed that you like stupid things or you focus on things that aren't important. And sometimes this develops very innocently. You might be in the store with your parent or grandparent or whoever took care of you. And you might be like, oh, can I please get this toy? Or can I please get this cereal? And they're stressed out. They're thinking about budgeting. They're thinking about making their paycheck last till the next paycheck. And they're aggravated and they're tired and they're stressed out. And you're just like, you're being a kid, right? And they're like, no, shut up, go away. I'm not going to buy that. I'm not going to buy that garbage. I'm not going to waste my money on that crap, right? They're stressed out. Granted, it would have been better that they handled it differently. But we've all heard that growing up. We've all heard that. That's stupid. That's dumb. I'm not wasting my money on that, And then so you start to think, oh, okay, well, I guess I like garbage. I guess I like stupid things. And you stop wanting. You stop desiring for things because you form this belief that what you want is bad. What you want is inconvenient. What you want is garbage, right? And then so the Seven of Cups is like you don't even have faith or trust in yourself to pick the cup because you think you're going to pick a garbage cup. And so this is the next stage of limited thinking that needs to be cleared. Give yourself permission to want what you want. Give yourself permission that the things that you want, the things that you're interested in are valid. They're not silly. They're not stupid. Okay? Meditate on that. Your next card that's coming up here, Leo, is the Ten of Swords. Now, the Ten of Swords is a really scary looking card, but I've always seen it come up in readings just before a really big, powerful shift and positive change where you're breaking out of a cycle that's been holding you back. It is true that the Ten of Swords can indicate like the ending of a partnership or relationship because of some kind of betrayal. And that might be happening for some of you. As I said, this Page of Swords, some of you have to be cautious. Some of you have a sneaky little instigator around. And so you might be feeling betrayed by this person or this situation. That can be a way that the Ten of Swords plays out. But the Ten of Swords can also be breaking out of karmic cycles and like self-destructive behaviors. It can be breaking out of addiction, whether the addiction is some kind of substance, such as medications or alcohol, or physical intimacy, or shopping, or gambling, or sugar, or being addicted to a certain kind of situation where you're in a painful, emotionally painful situation, but you're staying in it because you want to be the exception to get like validation or healing from a past hurt, whatever it might be. There could be a cycle or a form of self-medication that has begun to take away your joy. And so you may be breaking out of that for some of you. Breaking out of that, it could be sobriety, in some kind of way here for some of you as well. Now, a lot of the times in career situations or work situations, I've seen Ten of Swords come up when you're feeling really conflicted because once upon a time, this was a really good thing. This was a big deal. This was a big break. And now you're getting to the point where it's like a shoe that's too small, right? There's nothing more painful than trying to keep putting your foot in a shoe that you've outgrown. You may remember that from when you were growing up, from when you were a kid. And you might love those shoes. You might love them, like you don't want to outgrow them. But it's becoming too painful to stay in them. And I see that happen sometimes with the Ten of Swords where it's bittersweet. You want to leave. The thought of leaving brings you such relief. But on the other hand, there might be a sentimental attachment. And you might feel kind of bad, or you know what, this place is going to fall apart without me. If I leave, well, guess what? I'm sorry to say, I'm not trying to be cold, but that's not your problem. It's really not your problem. And so the Ten of Swords is coming in with like liberating yourself from a situation. It might be bittersweet because once upon a time it was a good thing, but you have to give yourself permission to grow. You have to give yourself permission to move on. A lot of the times I see Ten of Swords when you're trying to keep yourself small because you feel bad for who and what is being left behind, but you can't live your life that way. Your next card coming up here, Leo, is the Hermit. And this is a major arcana card. Some of you could be dealing with a Virgo. If you have a Virgo placement, there could be big changes and shifts happening in that area of your life or in that house or houses. Now, this is major arcana card, so this is a new chapter. This is an experience you came here to have. And the Virgo card, the Hermit card here, is really about like spirituality and awakening. Okay, it's seeing the light. And it can also be the need to just kind of disconnect from people and spend some quiet time alone. The Hermit card doesn't spend time alone because the Hermit is emo or depressed or mad at the world, but because it's very soothing. It's very soothing to just kind of disconnect and be in like processing their realizations, processing their epiphanies, figuring out what they believe, figuring out what their truth is before they go out into the world again on their path. And some of you have heard me say this about the Hermit card. The Hermit makes me think of the caterpillar. Caterpillar went out into the world and fed itself, fed that hunger, satisfied that hunger, got the nutrients that it needed. And now it's just relaxing. It's going into its cocoon and it's resting and it's sleeping. And in that process of doing absolutely nothing, just very automatically, very effortlessly, its wings begin to grow. And then that caterpillar comes out of the cocoon, a butterfly, and it's able to reach places and see things as a butterfly that the caterpillar could never even have dreamed of. And the Hermit has that element to me. It's like this element of transformation and like evolution, where you're going to see things that other people can't even dream of, where your old self couldn't even have dreamed of or imagined it. And it's that part of your healing where you've done the work. You've done all the work. You're just resting. You're just recharging. And in that resting, in that recharging, there's a powerful awakening or transformation that's happening. Your wings are coming in. And then you're going to be able to really go out into the world and see the way and show others and teach others and inspire others. People wanting to follow you now. That's what I feel when I see the Hermit card, right? You might have a different interpretation of it, but I encourage you to meditate on the message that's coming for you through this reading. Some of you might be finding a spiritual teacher, and some of you might be stepping into the role of being a spiritual teacher. I'm always encouraging people to do this, and people might say, well, aren't you worried about competition? I'm not worried about competition, and I'll tell you why. Not because I think I'm that amazing or I'm blowing people out of the water. No. There is so much work to be done. So many people are waking up. And the people who are already awake or the people who are light workers are very few in comparison to the masses that are coming into this time of awakening. We need the teachers. We need the leaders. There's so much work to do. There's so many people to help. So no, I'm not worried about competition because I can't reach every single one of those people. You can't reach every single one of those people. So we need to encourage each other. We need to root for each other because we're here to help. And some of you are coming into that realization. You're coming into that awakening that you're here to help. And you're figuring out how you're going to do that. I've said this in previous readings. Light workers come in many different shapes and sizes and categories in life. They're not all going to be energy healers and tarot readers and psychics and mystics. It can be a teacher. It can be a hairdresser. It can be a bartender. In whatever capacity that you're reaching people in a powerful way. I have a good friend who's a hairdresser, who's also a healer. And people don't realize that every time they go and they sit in their chair, they're not just getting their hair done, and she does an amazing job. They're not just getting their hair done, they're getting an energy healing. They don't even know it. She doesn't even realize that she's doing it. She does it on autopilot. So in whatever you're doing, you might not be, lay down on the massage bed, I'm going to align your chakras. You might not be doing it that flat out and that blatantly, but you're still doing it in some capacity, in the capacity in which you're reaching people. Okay? Meditate on that. The next card that's coming up here, Leo, is the King of Pentacles. And this could be Earth sign energy, Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus. If you have an earth sign placement, that could be an area of focus for you at this time or coming into this week. You might be dealing with an earth sign person. Now, in terms of energy, the King of Pentacles is the Midas touch. It's figuring out your gifts, your talents, your resources, and how you can make them work for you. So maybe some of you are stepping away from a work situation and you're figuring out how to generate income from a gift or a talent that you have, or from property that you have or that you're inheriting, or investments that you've made. Maybe some of you are figuring out how to make your money grow and expand. But there's a sense of the Midas touch with the King of Pentacles. The works of your hands are blessed. You're going to see them flourish. You're going to see progress. And many of you have heard me say this in previous YouTube videos. The King of Pentacles has a very special meaning for me in my readings. I see King of Pentacles come up a lot of the times when there's an offer coming your way. And you feel like, I don't know, it sounds really great. It sounds very wonderful, but maybe they think I'm better than I am. that they're extending this offer to me. And if I take the position, if I take the offer, maybe they're going to be disappointed in me. That, oh, well, you know, Leo, you're not what we thought you were. And then I'm not going to do a good job. And, like, it sounds great. It sounds wonderful. Maybe it's not a job. Maybe it's a chance to move. Maybe it's a relationship. You're like, this sounds great, but I don't know if I'm ready for it yet. And you're tempted to push it away because it seems like, too good for where you're at in your life. And for me, the King of Pentacles is saying, look, if you weren't ready for it, it wouldn't be here now. The opportunity is here now because you're ready for it. Again, meditate on that. Pray about that. You may want to check out your moon sign and rising sign videos. Some weeks those might resonate for you more than your sun sign. You may want to check out the love and romance readings for December. Those are linked in the description. If you would like a private reading with me, you can schedule a private reading with me by going to calendly.com/amethystangelite. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Have a wonderful week, my dears. Take care.